move over Jimmy John's. JJ has a whole new meaning in this video. The Grinch and Chewy said this episode is more fun than hacking a hairball. June can call these two Jims anything but laid for tacos. Finally, the Double J collab we've been waiting for, writes the St. Cloud Sentinel.
This is a 1967 VW Sandflea Dune Buggy in red, blue, and silver. The interior is black cloth with seat belts. It's equipped with a 1600cc, 60 horsepower, 4-cylinder, air-cooled engine. What's cool about this buggy is I bought it as a basket case in 2020 and took 140 days to restore it back to its original condition. It has a fuel cap from a Plymouth Barracuda, an original 1969 Apollo 11 moon landing window decal, and a USB and USB-C charger. Hi, I'm Dune Buggy Jim, and this is Buddies and Buggies Getting Beverages. Today my guest is Jim Williams. Jim and I met at my house in Denver about 3 years ago. Fun fact, Jim used to own a Volkswagen Beetle as well. Can I put this on you? This wireless mic?
Sure. Come on. Yeah, and it'd be done. You'd like, you're done already? There you go.
I know it.
One time, we drove all night. Well, I didn't drive all night. We drove late into the night to get up to the Field of Dreams.
Oh, in Iowa, yeah.
6 hours away. And so he said, Dad, you're going to have to drive while I edit.
In the car.
In the car.
How about that?
That's okay. So he did, and I did. Now, when they opened up Stevens Plantation originally, the end of Nolte Road was at the traffic light. There was nothing beyond
Nothing.
the light. Pastures,
That was it.
forest.
Forgot you had your little hook
got
on
my
there, didn't
tail
you?
there, yeah. That's okay.
Well, I'm going to start us off with Buddies and Buggies Getting Beverages. Cheers, because I'm drying up already.
Okay, Jim, what we got going on here?
We've got Buddies and Buggies Getting Beverages.
There you go. The
Cheers.
beverages is water.
Our beverage today is water. That's our
I'm getting
our
my
choice
beverage
today.
uncapped here.
Ah, that's good. I'll cheers you again.
There we go. Cheers.
All right, cheers. Look who it is, everybody. Big Jim.
Here we are.
Big Jim, Little Jim.
Water down.
My dad was Jim, so that's what I've been known as all my life. Big
All right.
Jim, Little Jim.
There you go. Well, that was just a plain Jim. Plain Jane Jim.
Well, Jim has been so nice to offer to show me around St. Cloud, so we're going to go check out some areas. But I guess our you know, in hindsight, going at 4 o'clock in the afternoon,
We're going to see some traffic.
we're going to see some traffic, aren't we?
But that's okay. Once we get out, we'll be flowing.
And I've also got the GoPro mount. We haven't used that in a long time on my channel, but
I like that. I'm going to check into that.
Yeah,
See how useful that can
you'll
be
see
for
it.
me.
You know, when I get the video all done, you'll see the floating action of that camera, and it takes a lot of the bumps out. I mean, it's picking up a lot of wind noise up there, so our little wireless mics here are going to take care of that for us.
Right.
We won't use the audio from that GoPro. We'll just use the video.
Now this lane on the right-hand side, it's a straight lane. The left-hand lane is a turn-only lane.
Okay, stay in the
We're gonna
right.
Stay in the
Okay.
right once you get in. And then it splits into 2 lanes, and you can just stay straight.
Okay. The scenario I use right here in front of us is you got to get in the batter's box to get a hit, right? This person's not even getting in the batter's box right now to get a hit. You gotta get in there. You gotta engage.
Sometimes you gotta be proactive.
There you go.
Go. Oh well.
There. That's not me honking, folks, but I sure wish it was. Oh, okay. Everybody's honking right now. Hey, thanks a lot.
All of this used to be forest.
Wow.
Then they built that Walmart neighborhood center there. And then they just built in another forest pasture land over here a new Wawa 3 months ago.
I don't have any Wawas next to me. Wawa is a gas station down here in Florida. I don't know what other states they're in, but it's pretty impressive. I would say not quite as crazy as Buggies, but it's a nice one. They've got the brisket and sandwiches, and
they do
the food they'll make for you on
yep.
the spot there. It's really nice. I know they brag. I don't know if it's in all of them, but there's no service fees on the ATMs in there, which is nice. I mean, I got hit the other day with like a $3.95 service fee to pull out a $20 bill. That I was in a pinch, couldn't get to my bank. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Live and learn. But I think Wawa's, I've seen the sign in some of them. I just don't know if it's in all of them that they waived that service fee, which is cool.
First Wawa I ever went to was somewhere when I was driving a truck up in the Northeast. We'll just make up a name and say New Jersey. I don't really remember.
So they're on the East Coast, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was at a customer. It was about a block down from the customer I was delivering at and sleeping at for the night. So I walk up there. First time I ever ordered a sandwich on a kiosk. I had no idea what I was doing. The poor lady had to help the old man order on the kiosk what sandwich I wanted. It was nice. Yeah, that was my first experience with Wawa.
Yeah, it's all automated in there.
And then they started showing up in Florida.
First thing Adam asked me, he goes, "Is there any air conditioning in this car?" When he took a ride with me. No radio, no heater. I'm like, man, come on. There's nothing in this car anymore. This thing has been stripped down to nothing.
Nothing.
It's got a gas gauge and a speedometer. What more do you need than that?
There you go.
You got the wind in your hair and the sound of nature. This car in front of us always reminds me of the movie Cars. There was a cartoon, and one of the cars had a little mattress flipping in the air just like that. I know you guys can't see it, but that mattress is twice as wide as the car that just went by us. Hey, there's a Wawa right there.
That's the one.
That's the one, huh? Look at that thing. I can just see it coming off here in a second.
It could. That'd be an interesting addition to the video. Some poor soul coming back to pick up his mattress. That's probably going to work better.
Good thing you had that string on.
Now, before this became a usual normal thoroughfare, this was the most pleasant solo ride.
Really?
All the way out into the country. See, this is what it all used to look like. Little wooded areas and stuff, and then they cut this road through.
We're heading east right now, right?
East, yes.
Heading to the ocean.
Heading toward the ocean.
And there's a huge lake here in St. Cloud, right?
There is.
Is that to our left?
It is, north.
Okay. I'm just trying to get my bearings.
Yeah, that would be East Lake Toho. The main lake is over in Kissimmee. The Indian name is Topekaliga.
Okay.
Nobody can say that,
nope.
So they just say Toho.
Oh, okay. I've seen you take a little ride by there. It's got a marina, doesn't it?
Has a marina.
A restaurant down there.
Restaurant, yeah, beach. Big hot spot in the summer on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Big, busy place. No parking, hardly.
People can take their boats out there, right? If they got a private one or jet skis
and stuff.
There's a boat ramp.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got a boat?
I don't. I'm not a big boater, but
I'm not either.
I wonder if I could get into it. I kind of think it'd be something that would.
A new hobby.
I always think they're, money pits with my friends that have them, but I see the draw to them.
I'm just checking to see if my hair is blowing. Go down and clogged up. Yep.
So how big a truck did you used to drive?
I used to drive an 18-wheeler.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, I drove in all 48 states. Never went to Alaska.
Yeah.
And never drove to Hawaii.
Well, that's good. Be a little tricky to do that. My dad drove a semi too. He drove propane there by real close to Leroy, Illinois,
Okay.
where you were at.
Sure.
But he would go all over the state of Illinois, but he was home every night. But he drove a big 18-wheeler tanker filled with propane
That's
to all
nice.
the plants. Because a lot of people there have propane at the houses
Yep.
to heat at night, not like down here.
So he would deliver to the plant, and the plants would deliver
You got
the
it.
little service
He
trucks.
used to do the bottle trucks out to the houses, but then they moved them up, and then he drove the semis. So there was like 3 guys, and I think my dad went through like 3 cabs, so he had well over probably 2.5 million miles under his belt of
lot of
highway driving.
A lot of career drivers get that, yep.
You imagine that? Well, you do imagine that. You did it.
No, I never made 1 million miles.
But you had to keep logs and everything every day. You had a logbook, right?
I did.
Yeah, same thing.
I enjoyed doing logbooks. I just enjoyed writing and drawing.
Yeah.
And so when they went to the paperless logs, which was the last company I worked for, 3 years, I was resistant at first. We're going to go left, brand new. None of this was here 10 years ago.
That's hard to believe when people tell a story like this, because everywhere I'm looking right now is neighborhoods. It's like, how is that not here?
And if we were to turn right,
Yeah.
they're building more of this further south.
Huh.
We may come back that way to show you, because we're going to go east.
Just so you guys know, right now at this mobile, I'm looking back, it looks like diesel is $5.59 a gallon and regular is $3.89. I know Mike out there in California, I don't know if he was by the airport or where, but he was showing $6 a gallon gas. We're looking out. It called for rain tonight. I don't see anything really looming over us yet.
Nothing threatening.
But that's the funny thing about Florida. It builds up fast. I've learned that in the year here.
It can come up quick.
I've been out in the buggy and thought I had a sunny day ahead of me, and it turned quick.
Rain a lot and stop quick.
And we would be in a bathtub right now. Jacob goes, you need to drill some holes in the bottom of this thing. It's probably not a bad idea. It'd be nice to get a top. That way I could zip indoors, in case I did get a torrential downpour, I could hide in the shelter of the top.
That's true.
But they're not cheap. An Amish gentleman makes them up in Ohio.
Oh,
How about that? I wonder if he's ever been in a buggy, though.
I was about to
A
say.
dune buggy.
He's got a different
He's
buggy.
got his own buggy, doesn't he?
Horse buggy.
I'll tell you what, these nice roads are nice and smooth.
They are nice.
Being all new. That's a blessing in the buggy. This thing's rough.
All this waterfront property along here. Florida's full of lakes down here.
Well, there's some docks over there. People got boats. That's nice.
Yep.
I'll tell you where I went a couple weeks ago. I went over to Sanibel and Captiva and Pine Island, right there by Fort Myers.
Okay.
Have you ever been in that area?
I think we did go there once years ago.
Beautiful area, but boy, they got hit hard with the hurricanes. You know,
Yeah.
those last 3 that came through.
They did.
So tell me, you said, this is interesting, Jim used to have a Beetle. Tell me about that Beetle again.
Yeah, in 1972,
Okay.
Or 1971, I guess, the spring of 71, when I graduated from college. That spring, we bought a brand new 1971 Volkswagen. They called it a Super Beetle because it had, I think, 3 extra inches somewhere in the body or in the back or something. And I remember the sticker price.
What was it?
1971. It was the year of the. It was the price of the year. $1,971
For a car.
for a car. Yep.
You know what Farfennugen stands for? You ever heard that? You've heard that, right? Farfennugen, German word. It's like the joy of driving.
Okay.
That's what that is.
Is that what that is?
That was like a slogan or logo of Volkswagen there for a while. Is
Volkswagen
Farfennugen. Farfennugen, yeah. When Mike was in here, he was teaching me a little German.
Hey.
And that was a good one. Good guy to teach me that. But
That's right.
He goes into his Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonations. And you know what? It sounds good when he does it.
Just like him, yeah.
His favorite word when he says it is fantastic. He goes, that's fantastic. But man, when he says it, I got to look over and go, man, is that not Arnold sitting over there?
That's true. Now,
I miss him. I told him he can move to Florida and live in Venice and he wouldn't have to change his name.
There you go.
What do you think?
Now, none of this was here except that service station in 1971.
7-Eleven was always there, huh?
None of this was here. All this was orange groves,
Man.
as far as you could see. And then somewhere about a dozen years ago, maybe a little longer, a big freeze came through Central Florida.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of the death of the orange trees.
I went out to the Citrus Tower and my cousin kind of explained the same thing, because when you go to the Citrus Tower, they brag up and down about how many millions of orange trees used to be around there.
That's right.
But that freeze in the 80s or whatever, 2 back-to-back freezes, wiped it out.
It did.
Wiped it out. And now there's neighborhoods all around the Citrus Tower.
That's right. Rooftops now instead of orange trees. None of this was here. All of this is built up in the last 15 years or so. In a few minutes, we're going to come up to a auto parts junkyard. There it is.
Is it a pick-apart where you can go in and grab your own stuff?
Yeah.
Nice. Those are the best.
There you go. Fantastic.
Fantastic. St. Cloud Auto Salvage Auto Repair. I have fixed many cars picking my own parts.
That's good that you know how to do that.
Learned in high school, had good teachers and shop classes for woodworking and automotive classes. Took classes in college.
Now this is Nova Road. Nova Road is a cutoff road up to 520.
Oh, I know I can't spin the camera around, but
the last vestiges of cows.
Oh man, I got a story for you. Are you into rocket launches at all?
I have been to some rocket launches.
Really? Over at the Cape?
Yep.
Not up close, or did you go to Titusville, or where'd you go?
Once up close, on property.
Yeah, you got to go on. Huh?
I got to sit at the bench across the pond.
Yep.
From the launch pad.
Sunday.
That was phenomenal.
I want to do that. I want to go, and everybody's saying, hey, you got to get over to the Space Center on a day there's a launch, because that's close and you're surrounded by rockets and cool things. So I want to do that. But Sunday morning there was a rocket launch at 10:47 or something like that.
Okay.
I made it over there at 10:37, found a parking spot, walked over to the space park to check it out. Probably 300 people there to watch it with me. That was impressive. I didn't know how many people would be there.
Right.
Up goes the rocket. Beautiful launch. I explored Titusville a little bit. Grab a nice Mexican meal. Found another park I'll probably use to watch another launch someday. Found a good Goodwill. And then on the way home, you know where that big Swampy the Gator is, right there by Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an animal park right there.
Okay.
But right next to there is Cracker Ranch. And I stopped. I know this is a long story, but that's how I am.
That's okay.
I'm trying to get to the point here.
All right.
I know you're going like this. Where's the point, Jim? But all those cows back there, I walk up to the railing and they were about that far away. As soon as I put my arms on the railing, the buffalo looked up, the longhorn looked up, the cows looked up. They all came to me.
Oh, wow.
That was crazy.
Oh, wow. You have to talk to the cows.
They thought they were going to get fed. That's it, you know. Somebody at that time usually shows up, I'm sure, with the hay truck.
Now, that used to be the old highway over there.
Oh, yeah. That's like Route 66, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it
is.
feels like right now, guys.
This is the new road here.
It's still there, but now it's made for golf carts or whatever over there, it looked like.
Just the local residents.
It's been bypassed.
Yep.
So we still in St. Cloud?
No.
What are we in?
We're in Osceola County. We're not in
Not
anything.
really a town at all right here.
No.
It's a cool bridge.
That used to be the road.
Oh yeah, yeah, right.
Now in a minute we're coming up to the property that begins the area called Harmony.
Harmony.
Harmony is a community, what's it called? A planned community project.
Kind of like Epcot?
No, more like Celebration.
Our Celebration, okay.
It's not an incorporated city, but as you can see, it's becoming quite a city. None of this was here 15 years
A
ago.
lot more condos that we're looking at, or townhomes, I guess. So it was like a community that would have had everything, a school, and downtown, a shopping area, theater, kind of self-contained.
Self-contained,
Harmony.
exactly.
Thus the name. It's not just a clever name.
Harmony became operational in 2003. When we get up here, I'll show you the basic shell of what the city used to be. All this is just grown up.
Harmony West.
Yeah.
Right here. I see that sign. But still got forest groves over here.
Plenty of stuff to build on this side.
Undeveloped.
Undeveloped over here, yep. And you can
heavily developed on this side, folks. What we're looking at is just a lot of houses.
Individual homes.
Adam took me to the Tupperware headquarters.
Over in Kissimmee.
Was that where that was? Kissimmee?
Over in Kissimmee, yeah. Yep, we used to...
June worked there? Or for Tupperware?
June was a Tupperware lady, yeah. For many, many years. We came down 2 or 3 times to that location for their annual celebration.
Oh.
Never knowing we would live here, you know.
Right by it.
So, all right, this was the original community.
Oh, yeah.
Here was the first buildings you saw when you came to Harmony. And it goes down past the light, over the hump in the highway, because they built a tunnel under the highway for the students to walk to school.
Oh, okay.
Now we can do one or two things. We could turn left here if you want to, but my guess is we want to go over the hump.
Okay.
And maybe drive through some of the residential area and just show what that looks like.
Let's check it out.
So this hump in the highway is where
the hump is a little hump.
Yeah, a little hump.
Just big enough for a tunnel. I see the school now.
It's a tunnel.
So they can get over to the community of houses over here.
From the residents.
Yeah, that's a good thing. They don't have to cross a busy street.
Exactly.
So we're on the hump right now. Here's the school. You can see that underneath would be a tunnel.
Okay, you want to take that next left-hand turn up here.
Pull in here.
Yeah, let's go ahead and pull in.
Community. Oh, here we go. Yard sale community from 8 to 3 this Saturday.
Spare cash.
Come over here and do some shopping.
Get some stuff.
You need any stuff?
I don't need any stuff.
I don't need any stuff. I got enough stuff.
Plenty of stuff.
All you're doing is taking somebody else's stuff and making it your stuff.
Making it yours. Taking their trash and making it your treasure.
I used to have great garage sale signs that said stuff like that. Make my crap your crap.
Now, when they first built it, they had, of course, they had residential houses. They had a community center with all the amenities. They had a golf course.
Oh, which way you want to go?
Obviously, they have some interesting artwork over here.
Yeah, look at that.
We've got a woman running away from children playing on steel bars.
Is that what she's doing? I guess she is. She's acting like she's catching a butterfly.
Oh, she's catching a butterfly.
But she's running. See, your folks on your video are going to be able to see that. Sorry, guys, but I'm trying to explain it as best I can.
You're doing a good
Huge
job.
metal, steel artwork made out of I-beams and then, sheet metal. And it's got this lovely lady acting like she's catching a butterfly,
Yeah.
but the kids are behind her. It
Playing
kinda looks like she's
dangerously
running
on the
away.
steel beams,
Yeah.
yes.
Try to explain this building. What are we looking at here, you think? Event center, you think?
Probably it is.
I'm seeing a golf course here, too.
Yeah, this could be the clubhouse.
Getting a thumbs up from a golf cart driver.
That's always good. Got
It
one
is
coming
good.
This way.
I got to take my own advice, don't I? I need to get in the batter's box here. Need to step up.
Okay, this is a swim club, it says here.
Swim club, okay. Well, here, now maybe you guys will see. There must be a nice big pool right here. That's the swim club.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see if they have a sign here. Nope, just lots of decorations and stuff. Homemade
Oh, here's something on the door. It's a Mexican restaurant.
How about Dune Buggy.
Golf
Preserve.
preserve.
What is the difference between a preserve and a reserve?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't know. Preserve it? Reserve it. Reserve. I'll look it up though. I'll find out. Next time I see you, I'll let you know. Wow. As soon as you got in this off that busy road,
Very pleasant.
blood pressure just goes down in this place.
Yeah.
This is nice.
Very, very similar to Celebration.
Yeah, it is
Same
so
basic
far,
concept.
but it doesn't have the bustle of Celebration.
No. Oh,
Here,
what's this?
folks, you're going to see this in 2 seconds.
Oh yeah,
There.
you gotta
You
get
see
the-
those? That
gotta get the
that's
leaf
what we
blower.
were looking at, but they were. Hey, you got to have a leaf blower, right?
Gotta have a leaf blower.
Got to have a leaf blower.
Gotta remember Adam. Thank you, sir.
What the heck? Golf course. Watch out for flying golf balls. Yeah, it does have that feel of Celebration for sure, right now.
Canopy of trees.
Yep. Golf course on one side, nice homes on the other. Joined homes, townhomes.
Cool canopy of trees here.
I love it.
Nice, cool breeze.
And down here in Florida, leaves are really starting to pop and come in now. So our canopies on some streets are really starting to fill in.
fill in and shape up. Yep.
And we didn't have any hurricanes last year, so that was good. We're getting rerouted here. Thank you. So when's the last time you were in a convertible?
Long time.
Really? Was the Super Beetle a convertible?
No.
What state did you get that in?
Georgia.
Oh, okay. What color was that Beetle?
It was a kind of a grayish,
Oh,
bluish
wow.
gray.
The Beetle was supposed to be the car for the people. It was obviously, the inexpensive cost of them. 1971, is what you paid for that.
Volkswagen.
Yep.
The people's car.
Car for the people. These are great homes. Look at that one. Big old columns.
I love the Spanish moss ambiance.
Yep, on these live oaks.
Yep.
I've got live oaks, but I don't have the Spanish moss.
You gotta
I
get
don't-
some, man.
Dude,
Just drive around.
yeah,
and
throw it on my tree and like the old tinsel for Christmas trees.
That's exactly right.
I would put all, we'd save it. I see boxes on how much that was every year.
Oh wow.
They were like 99-cent boxes, but we would save it. My mom and dad would put it back in a gallon, Ziploc baggie and use it again next year.
Yeah.
But I'd always get my handful and it always would go on one branch, you know. And then somewhere in the night, my mom and dad would probably disperse it around. I loved it. Used to blow it and just let it fly. Tinsel.
Well, this is
icicles.
Harmony.
I love Harmony.
Very nice. At some point, we probably want to go back the other way. Maybe this way.
Let's do it.
See if we can get back out to the highway.
We're in a buggy. We can do anything.
We can. We can cut across the yard.
We could go off-roading if you want. Those fillings are loose. They're going to be on your lap. Adam's videos were, you know, lengthy at times. Mine are, but my GIVs aren't, okay? So when he rode around in the buggy, I could feel the tension because he's like, I know I'm running too long with this video. And he even made a comment, he goes, I'm just like, shoot, cut. And we were just talking it up.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, you're getting into the longer videos now, man.
I don't have a dad joke, but I have a wife joke.
Oh,
It's not even a joke, it's a real life story.
Yeah, you just point where you want me to go.
I have no idea.
No, I don't either. We're in the middle of a neighborhood.
Let's don't turn there.
All right, we're going to turn off. All right, hit me with this you said wife joke, right?
Yeah, let's turn right.
All right.
See what happens.
All right. There's a lot of
Trying
traffic.
to work our way back out to the highway.
We're trying to get back out to the main road.
Okay, so June and I.
Go ahead. Oh,
There it
this
is.
is a personal joke? You're using names in this thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
I've told it many times. In her presence and in her absence. So, sweetheart, I love you, baby. This is for you. So June and I are just newly married.
Okay.
We're living in our apartment. We had both finished our sophomore year of college.
Oh.
And we were married, and it was summertime, something or other, and I was in the bedroom, very small apartment. Bedroom, kitchen, living room, that's about it. And so I'm laying on the bed reading something. She is in the bathroom showering.
This is a clean joke.
Yeah, it's a clean joke. So she's in the bathroom showering, and I'm laying there, and she calls out to me, and she says, "Jim."
I'm listening. I just got to watch traffic.
Watch the traffic.
She says, Jim.
She says, "Jim, bring me a tile."
Tile.
And I thought,
All right.
a tile? And I'm thinking a little square piece
Yeah, porcelain,
Yeah.
ceramic.
of tile.
I got it. I would be too.
So I get up and I walk over to the door. And like being the gentleman that I am, I don't open the door. I just say, "Sweetheart,
You reach in, knock, knock.
what did you say?" She said, "Bring me a tile." And I said, "What are you going to do with a tile?" She said, "I'm going to dry off." I said, "Oh, you mean a towel?" She said, "Yes, that's what I said, tile."
Isn't that funny?
That's
A
pretty
little
funny.
bit of an accent can change the meaning of a word, right?
Yeah, she got a beautiful Virginia accent. Makes many interesting conversations. Even to this day, 56 years later.
Yeah. I've got a friend. Whoa, almost lost my hat with that truck. I got a friend in Nashville that's got that little accent. I love it. But boy, it's fun to try to figure out what some of those words are, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I ribber too much sometimes.
You're riding a little long, huh?
My dad still had the original telephone in our house.
Oh, yeah.
The old black thing weighed about 8 pounds.
Made of like Bakelite or something.
It was, you could use it for a weapon if somebody broke
Yeah.
in the house.
Oh, yeah. And they had the rotary dial on it.
And before the rotary dial,
Oh,
I remember the days of BR549.
there it is. Had
Yeah.
that little hand crank. We had one. It didn't work. It was just for, an antique display in the
Right.
dining room, mom and dad. But they remember calling uptown, getting patched into Dorothy or whatever the lady's name was that worked the switchboard.
Yep. And I would call. We had a local telephone exchange upstairs in one of the office buildings.
Okay.
My aunt worked there. When everything modernized and became more sophisticated and electronical, she went over to Columbus and worked out of that office until she retired. But when it was a local office, I would pick up the phone. The woman would say, "Number, please."
Yeah.
And I couldn't remember the number.
Oh.
But I wanted to talk to my buddy Lynn, who lived across the street. So I'd say, "This is Jimmy Williams. I'm calling over to Lynn's daddy's house."
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
They knew.
They knew.
They knew.
They knew who it was.
Isn't that funny? How simple things were back
There
then?
were simple days. When I lived in Leroy,
Yeah.
which was 1978 through 81,
Okay.
I had a post office box.
Yeah.
And it
Got a
just
little
had my
dial on it.
name.
Yeah.
This had my name and the city. That's all it was.
That's it. I've been to Leroy.
You enjoyed living in Leroy.
We played them in football in high school.
You win?
I'm not going to say when. Come on, nice try. Just go with it. I played them in football.
There you go.
But that was by Gibson City. Adam and I went to, I met Adam a couple of years ago when he was coming through from Chicago. He stopped in Gibson City, and there's still an existing drive-in movie theater there called the Harvest Moon Drive-In.
How about that?
And I met him right there. We went to Monocle's Pizza. Best pizza. I love going back to Central Illinois and getting Monocle's Pizza. They've got a family pleaser, they call it. A big pizza, you get a pitcher of pop, and you get a salad, big enough for 4 people or whatever.
Wow.
But they always had really good red French dressing. You don't find French dressing too often in restaurants offered up, but it was good. If you could walk into any Blockbuster movie store that had every movie, what movie would you gravitate and go watch again?
Back to the Future.
Really? That's it, huh? That's your go-to?
That would be the first one I'd go to.
All right.
I mean, I've liked a lot of movies in my life, but I really enjoyed the trilogy. All 3 of them.
What was the first movie you saw in a movie theater?
Oh my goodness, that would have been...
Do you remember?
Some of the early days of Gene Autry and Roy Rogers, black and whites, back in the 50s.
Yeah.
I don't remember any specific movie. But one thing I do remember were the old, what they call serials.
Yeah.
Where they would show, a 15-minute segment, and they would leave it as a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So you'd have to come back next week and see
how they hook you.
How the hero got saved. And of course, I was also a Superman fan. I grew up on Superman comic books.
Oh yeah.
Among other things.
George Reeves.
So when the movie came out, the first movie came out.
Oh, with Christopher Reeves?
And it said, "You'll believe a man can fly."
That's it.
I remember that catchphrase.
I love that whole intro, and then finally takes off out of there.
Yep.
Powerful. Yeah, my dad was a huge dad. We found in his jewelry box, or in a box, he had a Superman ring from when he was a little kid.
How about that?
He used to order everything out off the radio, and out of cereal boxes.
Cereal boxes.
Still had the boxes they came in from Kellogg or wherever. He never threw any of that away. Little decoder rings. He had the Roy Rogers ring. Things you'd hold up, look through and see Roy Rogers on his horse or whatever.
I did a lot of that stuff.
Reminds me of A Christmas Story when he gets a little orphan Annie decoder. Same thing.
Yeah. And said something about eat more cereal or something like that.
Ovaltine. Drink more Ovaltine.
That's what it was.
Narcosi.
Yeah, this little town is called Ashton. It's not a town, it's just a little village, little spot in the road.
The sign right there just said Orlando, 28 miles.
Yeah, that way. That's Narcoossee Road. Highway 15 comes out in South Orlando.
How long would you serve at a church, you know, when you move from location to location?
It depended. It had nothing to do with any kind of schedule or anything. It just had to do with how long they were willing to put up with me.
Yeah.
My longest ministry was here, 8 years.
Okay.
I was 5 years in the Panhandle of Florida.
Where at up in the Panhandle?
Niceville.
Oh, yeah.
And then we went 2 years to Oklahoma and then came here in 91.
I drove blazing right through the Panhandle when I moved down here, pulling the buggy. And I came, the day I drove through Florida, I came all the way through, so I didn't stop because I needed to get down actually to St. Cloud for a house showing. I went to look at a house with a realtor.
Right.
And what I didn't realize, here's a little fun fact for you. You ready for this?
All right.
I didn't realize the time changes in the Panhandle.
In the Panhandle.
In Florida.
At the Shawnee River.
Yeah, you know where it is, all right? So she's like, oh, our appointment's at such and such a time. I'm like, oh, I got 3 hours.
Already
She
an
goes,
hour late.
no, that's 2 hours. I'm like, no. And then I went, what? Yeah, but here's the fun fact. That's not the fun fact. Hang on. I got to get over, folks.
Yeah.
The fun fact, thank you, is, did you realize, I know you're going to want to fact check me on this.
All right.
There is we'll say a town in California that's only 1 hour behind a town in Florida.
That'd be interesting to know.
Isn't it? It jogs, there's a town in California that jogs into mountain time, and just like you said, there's a town or an area of Florida that jogs into Central time, so there's only 1 hour difference.
That's a good point.
How about that?
That's very interesting. Another fun fact.
Okay. Fun fact.
I just went blank.
Oh, come on. Fun
It'll come
fact.
to me.
We'll come back to that fun fact.
It's not Las Vegas. What's
Okay.
the other famous city in Nevada?
Laughlin, Nevada?
No. Yeah,
Another what?
Las Vegas, Nevada.
What are we talking about?
What's another famous city
Yeah.
in Nevada?
Oh, Reno?
Reno. Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
now. Forget it.
Reno?
Which city
Yeah.
is on the little pinnacle of Nevada that sticks out like this?
Oh.
Is that Reno? I think that's Reno.
Well, Las Vegas is pretty close, but
I'll look on a map in
Okay.
a minute. That city
yeah.
is further west than Los Angeles, California.
Really? Just because of how curved?
Because
Yeah,
Southern California.
I guess I
curves
can
like
see
this.
that. And somebody told me this, how big Texas is. You know, when you get to El Paso, you're closer to Los Angeles, I believe, from El Paso than you are back to Dallas. That's how big Texas is.
And Texas is a big place.
Birthday of the
US.
country, so boy.
Right. I know Adam was planning a lot of
Yep.
places to go this year. He never shared any of them with me, but I know he had some planned.
He said, hey, would you want to go to Chicago and start with me? I said, sure, but I'd be stopping with you 2 hours later when I got to my mom's, you know? Then you're on your own, so it wouldn't be much of a tag team.
You know, until I was put back on dialysis, I had grand plans of traveling.
Yeah. Now you're kind of limited, huh?
Sort of put the kibosh on that.
Yeah.
So June and I are trying to figure out some things to do within a 1 day radius of here.
Yeah. Little staycation kind of thing. Be fun.
We went on a riverboat cruise the other night
Where is that at?
here off the lake,
Oh, yeah.
East Lake Toho.
That's cool.
There's a
Is it a dinner cruise? Or?
This wasn't a dinner cruise.
No,
There
no.
is a dinner cruise on the St. Johns River up in Sanford.
Oh, yeah.
We've been on that a couple of times. And then there's one over in Clearwater that takes you around the bay and out into the Gulf and then comes back in again. That's a dinner cruise. We've been on that once or twice. Those are some things we can do.
That'd be fun. I didn't know there was one up by Sanford. How excited are you for tacos?
I'm excited about tacos.
I am
like
too.
tacos.
Taco Tuesday tonight.
Yes, sir.
You know how long it's been since I had a A mom home cooking?
I don't know.
It's been a while. Too long.
All right, we are coming in for the home stretch here,
Home stretch.
making our way back to the landing center. And then we're going to sit for a home-cooked taco meal by Mama Wu. Adam used to always love to come over when Mama made tacos, and he ate a plenty.
I do have a little tiny top. When we get to the house, I'll throw that on,
right.
just so this area up here doesn't get all
Yeah,
soaked.
you don't want to get it wet.
It'd probably soak the back, but oh well. This was fun.
Well, man, thanks for doing this, dude.
Yeah, this was
I gotta
great.
get the rain on the video here.
Well, you always got to have rain in a buggy. I mean, that's the experience.
You know it's starting to rain.
And it's coming down. We're gonna get soaked.
wet. Put my hat on. What to do?
Did you bring your swimsuit?
No, I didn't.
These are big drops too.
Yeah, maybe we'll run out of it up here. Maybe not. We're almost home.